We're about to tear through the wildest car chases of the 1970s. No CGI, no shortcuts, just real cars, real drivers, and real danger. Was it really possible to beat these high-tech modern scenes without CGI back then? If you love screeching tires and pure adrenaline-fueled mayhem, this list is for you. Let's hit the gas. Let's kick things off with a chase that's less about muscle cars and more about raw urban grit, the French Connection. Now, when you think of movie chase cars, a 1971 Pontiac Le Mans might not be the first beast that roars to mind. This Le Mans wasn't some top-of-the-line muscle machine. Under the hood, it had a 250 cubic inch inline-six engine. Yeah, you heard that right, a six-cylinder. Putting out around 145 horsepower, it's no rocket, especially when hooked up to a 3-speed manual transmission. But that's what made it perfect for this movie. It was an ordinary car, just like what a real detective might drive. The chase scene in The French Connection is legendary because it's so real and dangerous. Detective Popeye Doyle, played by Gene Hackman, commandeers this Le Mans to chase an elevated train. Director William Friedkin wanted it to feel as authentic as possible. So guess what? They filmed it on real New York City streets, often without permits. The crew would just set up quickly and start filming, weaving through actual traffic. The near misses you see, many of those were genuinely close calls. Hackman wasn't a stunt driver and Le Mans wasn't souped up for stunts. It was just a regular car thrown into an extraordinary high-speed chase. That's what makes it so intense. It feels like anything could go wrong at any moment because, well, it kind of could have. From gritty realism to pure gasoline-fueled freedom, we're shifting gears to Vanishing Point, also released in 1971. And for this one, we're talking about a true icon, the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. Forget six cylinders, this beast came packing a massive 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine. Hemi, just saying it sounds powerful, right? It turned out a monstrous 425 horsepower, all sent to the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual transmission. The white Challenger in Vanishing Point becomes a symbol of rebellion as Kowalski, the driver, races across the American Southwest, trying to deliver the car in record time and outrun the cops. The chases aren't just about speed, they're about escape and defiance. The movie is famous for its incredible stunts and the Challenger's ability to take some serious punishment. Did you know they didn't just use one Challenger? Oh no, several white Challengers were used and pretty much destroyed during filming. They had to keep swapping them out as they got wrecked doing jumps, slides, and high-speed runs across the desert. It's a testament to how much abuse those Mopar machines could take, and a sad goodbye to a few beautiful Challengers for the sake of movie magic. Keeping the New York vibe going, but turning up the intensity a notch, we have the 7-Ups from 1973. And guess who directed it? Philip D'Antoni, the same guy who produced The French Connection. He knew how to make a car chase that would stick to your ribs. For this movie, the main chase car was a 1973 Pontiac Ventura. Now, the Ventura might look a little plain compared to a Challenger, but don't let that fool you. Under the hood, it had a 350 cubic inch V8 engine, putting out around 200 horsepower. Not earth-shattering, but enough to get moving, especially with a 3-speed automatic transmission. The chase in the 7-Ups is considered by many to be even more thrilling than The French Connection. It's another urban chase through the streets of New York, but this time it's longer, faster, and even more destructive. The Ventura is driven hard, jumping over hills, careening around corners, and smashing through obstacles. What's really cool is that the movie uses a lot of in-car camera shots, putting you right in the middle of the action. You see the driver wrestling with the wheel, hear the engine screaming, and feel like you're right there in the passenger seat as Ventura gets thrown around. It's a raw, visceral chase that really shows off the Ventura's surprisingly good handling for a car of its time. So we've seen chases with regular cars, muscle cars, and surprisingly agile sedans. But what if the chase isn't just about speed? What if it's about endurance and just plain going on and on and on? If you want a car chase that just doesn't quit, you have to check out the original Gone in 60 Seconds from 1974. This movie is legendary for one thing above all else. Its insane, almost 40-minute-long car chase. And the star of this epic chase? A 1971 Ford Mustang sports roof, nicknamed Eleanor. This wasn't just any Mustang. It was modified for the movie and packed a 351 cubic inch V8 engine, good for around 285 horsepower, paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. Eleanor wasn't just about raw muscle. She was about agility and looking good while outrunning the cops for what felt like forever. The chase in Gone in 60 Seconds is less a chase and more of a marathon. It's a non-stop barrage of jumps, crashes, near misses, and tire squeals as Eleanor tears through streets, yards, and even a riverbed. The director, H.B. Halicki, also starred in the movie and did a lot of the driving himself. And here's a crazy fact, Many of the crashes in the movie were real and unplanned. Halicki incorporated actual accidents into the film, making it feel even more chaotic and unpredictable. Eleanor herself took a beating, but she kept on going, becoming a symbol of relentless escape. It's a chase that's so long and over the top, it's both exhausting and exhilarating to watch. Staying in 1974, but shifting to a chase with a much darker, more rebellious heart, we've got Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. And for this one, the ride is a mean green 1969 Dodge Charger RT. This Charger is pure American muscle. Under that long hood was a massive 440 cubic inch Magnum V8 engine, belting out a tire-frying 375 horsepower. And to make sure you were really in control, it came with a 4-speed manual transmission. This Charger was built for speed and attitude. The chases in Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry are brutal and relentless, just like the characters. It's about flat-out speed and power. The Charger barrels down highways, leaving a trail of destruction as Larry and Mary try to outrun the law after a robbery gone wrong. The movie is famous for its high-speed highway chases and the Charger's ability to just keep going no matter what. They didn't hold back on the stunts either. The Charger gets airborne, drifts wildly, and generally pushes the limits of what a car could do back then. And unlike some feel-good chase movies, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry ends with a shocker. A stark reminder that sometimes speed and rebellion don't get you a happy ending. Alright, let's take a bit of a turn and get a little Bond. James Bond. In The Man with the Golden Gun, released in 1974, Bond isn't driving some tricked-out Aston Martin for the main chase. Nope, he's behind the wheel of a 1974 AMC Hornet X. Yeah, you heard right, an AMC Hornet. Not exactly Bond's usual style, is it? This Hornet X had a 360 cubic inch V8 engine, which was decent for the time, producing about 220 horsepower. It had a 3-speed automatic transmission, making it more about cruising than hardcore performance. But here's the thing, it's not about the car, it's about what Bond does with it. The Man with the Golden Gun features one of the most iconic car stunts in movie history, the corkscrew jump. Bond in the Hornet needs to jump a broken bridge. Instead of just going straight, he drives up a ramp and executes a full 360-degree mid-air barrel roll, landing perfectly on the other side. This wasn't some CGI trickery, folks. It was a real stunt, calculated and executed by legendary stunt driver Lauren Willard. They used computers, yes, computers, back in the 70s, to figure out the exact speed, ramp angle, and trajectory needed for the jump. And get this, they nailed it in one take. The AMC Hornet X might not be a muscle car legend, but thanks to Bond, it's forever linked to one of the most mind-blowing car stunts ever filmed. We've seen amazing jumps and incredible stunts, but what about pure, unadulterated driving skills? What if the car isn't even that special, but the driver is just better? Let's shift gears again to a movie that's all about the art of driving. The Driver from 1978. This movie is stylish, minimalist, and incredibly cool. And the main car for the chase we're focusing on, not a sports car or a muscle car at all. It's a 1973 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck. Yep, a pickup. This C10 likely had a 350 cubic inch V8 engine, putting out maybe around 175 horsepower with a 3-speed automatic transmission. Not exactly built for high-speed chases, right? Wrong. The Driver isn't about horsepower, it's about skill. The movie features a tense and claustrophobic chase scene set in a parking garage. The Driver, played by Ryan O'Neal, is being pursued by detectives. But instead of relying on brute force, he uses precision, control, and incredible driving finesse to evade them. He slides the C10 around pillars, reverses at high speed, and uses every inch of the garage to his advantage. The pickup truck, seemingly an unlikely chase vehicle, becomes an extension of the driver's skill. There's not much dialogue, no fancy music, just the sounds of tires squealing and engines revving. The Driver proves that sometimes the most impressive chase isn't about the fastest car, but the most skilled driver behind the wheel. From the tight confines of a parking garage, we're blasting out into the wide-open dystopian wasteland of Mad Max, released in 1979. And the car? Oh, the car. It's the 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT Coupe. But you know what better is the Pursuit Special, or the Interceptor. This is no ordinary Falcon. It's been heavily modified and menacingly black, with a supercharger sticking out of the hood, even if it was mostly for show in the first movie. Underneath, it had a 351 cubic inch V8 engine, probably making around 300 horsepower, connected to a 4-speed manual transmission. Mad Max is all about high-octane chases in the desolate Australian outback. The Pursuit Special is the ultimate police interceptor, built for speed and intimidation. The chases are raw, violent, and often involve modified cars and bikes battling it out on dusty roads. What's amazing is how much of the action was real and practical. They were actually crashing cars and performing dangerous stunts in the harsh Australian landscape. The Pursuit Special, with its aggressive look and roaring V8, became an instant icon of dystopian cinema and car chase madness. Fun fact, they only built a very limited number of Pursuit Specials for the movie, and some sadly met their end during filming. Let's lighten things up a bit and head to the good old US of A for some southern fried car chase fun with Smokey and the Bandit from 1977. And the star car of this movie? The one, the only, 1977 Pontiac Trans Am. Black and gold, with that screaming chicken hood decal, this car screams 70s cool. Under the hood, it packed a 400 cubic inch V8 engine, producing around 200 horsepower. It had a 4-speed manual transmission, perfect for Bandit to do some gear-jamming getaways. Smokey and the Bandit is less about gritty realism and more about pure, over-the-top fun. The chases are comedic, fast-paced, and always stylish thanks to that Trans Am. Bandit, played by Burt Reynolds, is all about outsmarting Smokey, Sheriff Buford T. Justice, in hilarious and increasingly ridiculous ways. The Trans Am became a cultural phenomenon after this movie. Everyone wanted one. Sales of the Pontiac Trans Am went through the roof. The chases in Smokey and the Bandit are all about the thrill of the ride and looking good while you're doing it, proving that car chases can be laugh-out-loud funny as well as exciting. Okay, technically the Blues Brothers came out in 1980, just sneaking past our 70s cutoff. But we can't leave it out when we're talking about epic car chases, right? And the car, the legendary Bluesmobile, a 1974 Dodge Monaco. This wasn't some sports car, it was a 4-door sedan, basically an old cop car. But under the hood, it had some serious muscle. A 440 cubic inch V8 engine, putting out around 275 horsepower, paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. The Bluesmobile was built to take a beating and keep on going, just like the Blues Brothers themselves. The Blues Brothers takes car chases to a whole new level of absurd and hilarious destruction. The Bluesmobile jumps bridges, flies through the air, and causes mayhem wherever it goes. And let's not forget the legendary pileup scene. It's one of the most massive and expensive car crashes ever filmed, involving dozens of real cars being smashed to bits. They reportedly used 13 different Dodge Monacos during filming, and most of them were completely wrecked. The Bluesmobile became a symbol of indestructible, over-the-top movie car action. The chases in the Blues Brothers are pure cartoon craziness, proving that sometimes the best car chases are the ones that break all the rules and just go completely bonkers. And that's a wrap on the most epic car chases of the 70s. These films redefine action with raw speed and insane stunt driving. Got a favorite we missed? Drop it in the comments. If you love this ride, smash that like button and subscribe for more movie car madness. Stay fast, stay fearless, and yes, do check out the other videos on our channel. I bet you won't regret it.